Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. I hope you all well. I have been a little bit under the water, and also I haven't been online much. I haven't been watching any videos. I haven't been participating much in social medias as well, because I have been just doing a lot of work. Okay, I offered this special for my astrology readings, and the response was really overwhelming and wonderful at the same time. So I have been just offering a lot of astrology sessions, and they are demanding sessions, okay, for the client and for me, of course. The session itself, it's about 2 hours, and then I have to prepare for it, and being me, because I don't want to be bored, and also because I want to provide like really high standard of my readings. I also want to learn all the time, so every time I'm kind of allowed to take a peek into a person through this astrological lens, you know, I challenge myself to like go deeper and learn something new about astrology. And most of you who purchased the sessions, and thank you so much, have picked this time live versions or live sessions with me. So it was so lovely to also meet so many of you, and most of you are coming through this channel through YouTube. A lot of you have told me that you feel like you know me because of, you know, watching my videos for many years. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for everybody who you know, got a life purpose reading from me. And yeah, it was lovely to get to meet so many of you in person. I have missed the big Maggie Wilson cannabis oracle situation that is going on right now, and that has affected quite a few of my friends in this community. I haven't really had time to investigate it deeper. From what I've heard or saw, you know, through watching some of the videos, a creator of a deck behaved like really inappropriately. When you create something, you put it out into the world, like you have to deal with both people liking it and not liking it. If people do deck reviews, they have to be allowed to tell their honest opinion about a deck. And if somebody likes it or doesn't, it's not up to you as a creator to come up after those people and be kind of vicious about it, even if maybe a reviewer didn't behave like, you know, 100% properly, which I think in this case, I've watched Havana's video and I've watched Martin's video, wasn't the case. They just didn't particularly gel with the deck, but the reviews weren't nasty or anything. So yeah, to go after people, to harass people, like you know, Ikale Sunflower, Boswede, like it's just, yeah, no, it's not good. You just don't do it. So I hope the freedom of speech will still prevail, and you won't, or we won't go to jail for doing an honest tarot review, you know. So yeah, that said, I thought I'm going to come up today and just do something along the lines of September kind of specials, you know, September, my favorites of September. And I thought I'm going to separate this video in two parts. So one will be the newbies and the second part will be the oldies. So from the newbies, the new decks that I have been actually really honestly reaching for in September, my favorite one is this Purple Diamond Tarot by Arizona Smith. I'm yet to do a review of this deck, just because, as I said, I got swamped in work, so I didn't really have time much to post videos. But Arizona's deck, if you had a reading with me, you probably have gotten the reading with this deck. It's just sweet. I like it. It reads great. These are the backs, and it's just a wonderful deck. It has really unique voice. I love the booklet she provided, you know, it's simple, not too much, too many words, but there is truth to that. You know, you can say the truth through simplicity, through using simple words, simple sentences. And when they spoken in a truthful manner, you will resonate with this. And I think Arizona did that in this booklet. I like it. And the deck is also pretty sweet. So it's on this side of the, you know, childlike drawing, or how I compared it. It reminds me of a mix between Mother Peace Tarot and Shining Tribe Tarot by Rachel Pollack. The review of this deck is still coming on my channel, so I'm going to share with you, but I seriously like reading with this deck and it's fun. The illustrations have like their own unique voice, and yeah, it's just a good reader. Another one I was, reaching for and checking out because it's such a treat is this prototype of Mare Tarot by Masha Kulenovic, and she has done this modern take on the Thoth deck. So you can recognize that it is basically like a reinvention of the traditional tarot deck. The minors are very similar to the minors in the original Thoth, and the majors have been changed a little bit. There's a couple of lovers cards, and she just reimagined this, like made it a little bit more modern. I love the minors. Most of the majors are great too, but I don't know, it's really hard. I totally admire Masha for taking this on, because to like beat the imagination of Lady Frida Harris is not really easy. I think the minors actually speak in this deck to me much more than the majors. In some way, Masha made them pop out, and I don't know, there is just they're gorgeous, and the court cards are amazing. Some of the majors are also very striking, very powerful. I'm not a fan of the temperance. I don't know, it's just something too like weird going on around this card. I'm not sure what it is, if it's I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's mixing well. Maybe, temperance doesn't mean that it mixes well. It's an attempt to mix well, right? So, but Mare Tarot by Masha Kulenovic, and it's spelled like this. And her booklet also, which will be coming with the deck, because the deck doesn't exist yet for you guys to purchase. And Masha is still working on changing certain aspects of the prototype that she received from the publishers. So she's still working on the deck, but you get to see the whole review of all the cards as they are right now, bearing in mind that they might be changed. So newbies, what else is from the newbies? Well, we can add the La Flora Tarot to the newbies. I haven't had it for a very long time, and it's a very unique deck. So it's not a deck I would be reaching for every day for readings, but Flora is my guardian to lead me through working with this deck, and I always pull her up, and I always kind of like, well, you could say probably pray for her to open up the reading, with these cards. And they are very like a modern take on the plant-based deck. Like monochrome, black and white. They have wonderful PDF, and it might seem like a very difficult deck to read because it's quite hard to even see what plant it is really. But actually, when you sit with it and when you like get to know the plants or recognize most of the plants anyway, and if you know tarot, like, I'm fine to read it. I was surprised it's actually not so difficult as I thought it would be to read with this deck. So this is actually a really interesting deck on the more of the original side, something that maybe is not like a daily read, but like an interesting addition to the collection. And so La Flora Tarot, I did reach for it in September, and I still will be, because I think it's just beautiful, and it has also this I don't know, it's got class. There's just something about it, like when I use it I feel like a lady. Go gather. Any other newbies? Well, could we say? We probably cannot really. This is like a medium grand taking us over to the oldies, but this is Kitten Chop's tarot, and it's only 22 major arcana, reimagined by Zara, and I really love what Zara has created. And also in my readings, a couple of you would have gotten an archetypal energy for the now or something like this, when we pulled just one card, and this one card only would be like an overreaching energy for you to pay attention to at this moment in time. So this deck is really sweet. The cards are huge, as you can see. They would cover my face, but it's a perfect deck for just pulling one card and working with this particular energy for a period of time. Let's move to the oldies, shall we? The oldies. I have been using the Fairy Tale Oracle. My love for the big eyes hasn't stopped, guys, even though I'm not posting about it ongoing. But the Fairy Tale Oracle is my favorite oracle of the big eyes, like by far. It's deep. I love the fairy tales. I probably have been using this particular for most of the readings. So also people who have gotten reading with me, you guys will recognize this, and I highly recommend this oracle. I think it's awesome. The book is cool, even though, I had a bit of a mix-up in the beginning with the book because it's not like coherent in some ways, but it always gets to the point of what needs to be said. So the Fairy Tale Oracle reached for it a lot. Another one that is kind of on the fairy tale theme is this old deck, the Inner Child Tarot by Isha Lerner. And it's a really sweet deck, and it has a very sweet book as well. Fairly, again, simply written, and Isha has a very healing vibe around her decks, okay? And this one is no different. And her booklet is, again, quite simple. The major arcana describe the fairy tales. In the minors, there is like themes, different themes as well. And this deck is sweet. And it's actually quite deep for, for anybody, not just for kids. But it would be a wonderful deck to play with the kids. So I have been reaching for this one. And then to maybe close off that kind of spooky big eye, fairy tale-ish themes, I enjoy this deck. I love Julie's little, JBG tarot, but I actually quite enjoy the keywords in this one and the book and the images and the gilding. Anyway, I love this mass-produced big eyes tarot deck. I think it's cool. It reads well. With one of my friends and students, Sherry, we always draw this like a card from this deck very often, not always maybe, but very often. This deck now reminds me of her somehow. She has a lot of Scorpio energy, and there is just something about it that, it suits Sherry's energy. So if you watch it, hello. Another oldie that I love and just pulled it out recently is this Future Ancestor Tarot. It's really, really beautiful by Lexa Luna Studio, and I have a review of this deck. Sorry, it's just a bit glary because I'm sitting in front of the window, but this is a very, not monochromatic per se, but it doesn't have a lot of colors, and it's a very gentle deck. I have been a little bit sick also, like just a cold, like I lost my voice and I had so many readings to do, but it's been good. It put me a little bit into the focus mode, and I really just had to focus on the most important things that had to be done, and this was a great deck to use at this time. I also reached, which is like an opposite nearly to what I just showed, for the El Goliath Tarot. And it's not to say that this is a harsh deck, but compared to this one, this would be the gentle baby mama, and this would be the, slap in the face, like move on and get your shit together kind of energy mama, also loving. So I love this deck, and I have this, bigger first edition. I also had the second edition. El Goliath had sent it to me for review gracefully, but I so in love with the first one. I didn't reach for the new one, even though it's amazing as well. So if you missed out on this one, don't worry, the second one is great. But I just, I moved it on, and I just stick to the first edition. There was a couple of oracle decks that I love. Kaliach Oracle, She has been also very prominent and present for a lot of the readings that I do. Somehow she just feels right now like present, I can say. And I feel whenever I look at my decks, you know, I always go, who wants to be used right now for this particular client? And she often comes out at this moment. And you know that how many decks I have, right? So for a deck to kind of spark my attention so often, it's pretty cool. So I think right now she's pretty strong. And then another one is the Voices of the Dark Mothers. It's a very unique deck by Miriam Ellen Jones. It's from 2019. Again, it's black and white, and it's just like different goddess energies. Comes with this booklet. I'm not sure if it's still available. I know that she's on Instagram, and she has created a couple of different decks, but I don't know if they actually are published. I was trying to convince her to like publish the Mary Magdalene deck, and maybe she will. She said it's just expensive to publish, so it's not so easy. And the last oldie, before I speak about two very special ones to, you know, finish it off. The last oldie is the Spring deck, which is the Mother Tarot by Ren McMurdo. And I really haven't played with it so much as I thought I would, and I want to, because it's a very, oh, this is a perfect, what is it? 8 of Cups. And guys, this is my, like a little, I know that lots of people don't use this word, but like a stalker card, you know, when a card comes up very often and like you feel like, oh my God, now I constantly keep pulling this card. I like how she depicted it, because that's what I kind of see outside right now in September in Poland, you know, when leaves start falling off and 8 of Cups keeps coming up many times for me. What I usually do when I have a card coming up like this, I really pay attention, but not in the sense that I'm like, oh, okay, I know, again, 8 of Cups. Like, I study that card, you know, I go through all my books, I research, I put 8 of Cups from different decks, I see what sticks out for me, because these cards, you know, they have so many levels, so many layers. And sometimes we get stuck on certain interpretations. And when you're one of those people who, you know, just uses one interpretation for the cards, that's cool, but that's not me. Like, I'm constantly wants to evolve with this, and you constantly can learn. And I think that's why this is the only reason why I actually still stick to tarot and, you know, astrology, that I still can learn about this, that it's not something that I've learned and that's it. So this deck is kind of sweet, and I love the colors. So whenever I feel like I want to do something more creative or spark interest in life, like using a deck with something like vividness or a little bit opposing, but this is the Dream Awake Tarot by Obatalia. Well, her images are totally like, you know, burst of color and life, using these images, and that also just gives me life, you know, and I just love it. My two very special decks that I want to share with you to finish this video off, that I reached for my own deep readings, are these two babies, which, you know, I've had these decks since, like, I don't know, the beginning that I started doing YouTube. Oracle of Initiation came a little bit later, but if you move to the old videos of mine, you will see how often I had been talking about Dark Goddess Tarot. So this is by Ellen Lorenzi Prince. I love her decks in general, but this one is my ever favorite. I think this deck is amazing. I love the book she did. This is like perfection for me, a completed project, no fucking issues. Like, book is amazing. It's deep, it's punchy, it's huggy at the same time, practical at the same time, and also like mythological and archetypal. How do you even do this? I'm admiring Ellen for this. Okay, beautiful artwork, simple, not over sweetened, not over like done, you know, just like show it as it is. I love this deck. It's so good. And the little booklet, the big booklet that it comes with, amazing. And the also same that I can say about it is, you know, Oracle of Initiation. I'm fucking loving this deck. This is one of the decks that if I really want to do a reading for me, and you know, I don't do these readings often. I don't ask Oracle for inspiration like on this level when you really want to figure something out, you know, very often, because these readings like are real, you know, when you have that intention, when it's not just a daily draw, like pull a card, like with not really much intention behind it. When you do have intention, when you do really want to ask, when you do really want some feedback, and when you listen, oh my god, these decks talk, guys, and they like intense, you know, they're deep. And Melissa has created this amazing thing, Oracle of Initiation. It's still, you know, you can still buy it if you want it. I know that's not maybe everybody's cup of tea. It's a very strange deck. This is also old version that I'm showing you. There is a proper new beautiful, which I'm also using, version with reimagined gate cards, so you won't be seeing this traditional old gate cards. You will be seeing like a photographic gate cards now. There's just the pathways through initiation, you have color codes, you have so many different guardians that you can work with and be inspired by. I love this deck to bits, and it never disappoints me. I've never had a reading with Oracle of Initiation that I went, what is it, you know, what? It always takes me by surprise, always puts me into like a wonder and oh, you know, like this sense of like click, and sometimes totally like takes me to the place which I didn't even think of. So I love it. That's it, my friends. Till 20th of September, just before I head off, I do have a special on a couple of my classes, Tarot de Marseille class, Creative Tarot class, and one more. I will link it below. I forgot which one. Well, 3 of them for sure, but you can head over to my website if you want to, you know, use this opportunity to get a discounted price for the class. Please do so, and that's going to last till 20th of September, and then the prices will go up to normal, which is also not very much, but still, you can get it cheaper. So if you wanted to get any classes from me, now is the time. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are doing okay. I will be going to Croatia very soon. There was a little mix-up with our apartment there, so I will be leaving a little bit later than planned initially, but we are going next week, so I hope to soon report from some beautiful place other than my little block. I hope you all well. Take care. Bye.